Hello.
Hello, sir. Good
Hi, Ayushi.
afternoon.
How are you?
Sir, I'm doing good. How are you?
This is our first interaction today.
Yes, sir,
All
it
right. So
is.
let me tell you what we are going to do. Today it is going to be an informal mock. It is more like an interaction, but in the shape of interview. Basis this
Okay.
discussion, I will give you some feedback and the way forward, like what more we need to do. Right?
Okay, sir.
All right. So before we start with this, you have to give me a like it is first question for you, as if it is a mock, and this is first question for you. Can you introduce you and your family?
Yes, sir, I will. Sir, as you know, my name is Ayushi Panghal. I come from Sikar in Rajasthan. This is where I've done my schooling as well. My parents, both of them are government school teachers in Rajasthan. I did my bachelor's and master's in material science engineering from IIT Bombay. Thereafter, I worked for 2 years in Boston Consulting Group, that is BCG. I left my job and I started preparing for this exam. So, my optional subject is sociology. As far as my hobbies are concerned, I am a beginner in Kathak and I explore an eco friendly way of living. I'm very grateful that you've given me this opportunity. And I would like to inform you that my interview date is also 3rd of April.
All right. So, Ayushi, you are
Yes,
from
sir.
Rajasthan,
Yes, sir.
right? And Rajasthan is known for its tourism,
Yes, sir.
right? So, if I ask you that, let's presume you are selected and you are given a chance to increase the potential for tourism in Rajasthan. So,
Yes,
something
sir.
that has already been done is done. Now, what new you have in your mind?
Yes, sir. Of course. Sir, I would like to prioritize two things. Number one, it would be the unexplored places in Rajasthan, which hold a lot of potential. As I come from Shekhawati, sir, there are a lot of heritage Havelis in Shekhawati. It can be explored in areas like Mandava and Navalgarh, which hold a lot of potential for foreign tourists as well as domestic tourists. Number two would be, sir, uh, it would be eco friendly tourism and it would be village tourism, which is exploring the local cuisine, culture, handicrafts, and the people of Rajasthan in its most authentic form. So, developing village clusters surrounding maybe Shekhawati, wherein there is a lot of natural geography and people can explore the local authentic culture of Rajasthan.
All right. So, you like Kathak. Can you tell me
Yes,
something
sir.
about the folk dances of Rajasthan?
Yes, sir, I can. So, I would like to start with Ghumar, as all of us know it. It is the Rajputana culture which started the Ghumar as the tradition as we know it. It has, of course, been popularized by Bollywood as well. Then there are a lot of other folk dance forms, like the place I come from, Shekhawati. The dances that we do locally, as we see with Banjara people, it is more traditional Rajasthani dance to the beats of tal or dhol as people usually call it. Then there would be Teen Tali dance and other dance that are performed in the Ramdevra festivals as well.
All right. Okay. So, you have sociology as your optional subject despite being from IIT Bombay.
Yes, sir.
I will not ask you that why you do not want to continue with your engineering as a career option and instead coming into civil services. I understand you must be having some strong reasons for that, which more
Yes, sir.
particularly will be involving things like getting a very wide platform to serve the society, right? Everyone will be saying the same things. If you have
Yes, sir.
something very new, very innovative, or something that genuinely comes from your heart, you can share it. But my question here is that despite being from IIT Bombay, why didn't you choose any of the science subjects as your optional and why sociology?
Yes, sir. Rightly said. Science was my first love, and because of which I entered into IIT in the first place. Two major reasons, sir. Number one, material science engineering as an option was not available. Number two, it was in IIT when I first got reintroduced to humanities and I fell in love with the subject when I chose some electives. And sociology was needed for my broader understanding of the world and society as I know it. So, having already been educated in science, I think having studied sociology makes me a better person than I before was.
All right.
Uh, yes, sir.
You can continue if you have anything else to add.
Yes, sir. The question with which you had started, that everyone seems to have the same reason why they want to leave IIT and come to this service. Maybe you will feel that I also have the same reason, but I would say that that is also a good thing that so many young people are motivated to take our country forward, and I am one among them, sir. And I would also like to say that it was during the course of my IIT that I realized that I wanted to be in the development space. And that is why I chose consulting as well as my profession, because I wanted to contribute to the development space through the private sector. One reason that maybe you would find unique is I did not find the scale and the opportunity that the government provides in the private sector. That's why, sir, I wanted to, maybe I maximized my risk by taking this exam, but I wanted to minimize regret, that the potential my life could uh, impact the life of Indians. Yes, sir.
Whenever I talk to any student with sociology, particularly as an optional, and I ask them about any Indian thinker who has inspired them or whom they like the most, so the natural answer
Yes,
is
sir.
Srinivas.
Yes, sir, of
Is it
course.
is it the same with you?
Yes, sir, there is, of course, M.N. Srinivas. Then there are a lot of other sociologists also that I can't help but mention. One could be Sharmila Rege,
Mhm.
who's someone who broadened my understanding of intersectionality and how it plays in the lives of women in India, especially. Then there are a lot of upcoming sociologists as well in the environment space, in the ecofeminism space as well, that I feel really inspired by.
All right. So, any one Western thinker except Max Weber and Karl Marx, whom you like?
Okay, sir. So I would say Anthony Giddens, because he's a postmodernist thinker, and a lot of the things that he talks about is something that I see in my daily life and I can relate a lot to.
All right. Once we have seen this sordid event of Subhash committing suicide and because of the matrimonial dispute, so what do you
Yes,
think?
sir.
What kind of generalization we can now draw about the institution of marriage, how it is evolving and changing in Indian society?
Right, sir. So it was a very unfortunate incident, of course. Marriage as an institution in India and otherwise has been evolving in its form and the way we see it. There is more equality when it comes to the household aspect of marriage, as we see in the urban context. But at the same time, women still, it still is a patriarchal institution by and large, if we look at it from a sociological lens. And hence, there are laws in India that are designed to protect women. We do, however, see instances like the unfortunate case, as you mentioned, in which these laws are misutilized by people. And hence, there need to be uh, better uh, better application of these existing laws so that we can avoid such miscarriages of justice.
All right. So, this is your complete understanding of how the institution of marriage is evolving. Do you think that this institution has outlived its utility?
No, sir, I don't think so. I would say that marriage is, after all, partnership and companionship. And when bound within the cultures, within the contours of a society, and the legal provisions, it transforms into marriage. So it cannot outlive. But some postmodernist sociologists will, however, say that the changing forms of marriages, as we see the divorce rates are increasing, live in relationships exist, same sex marriages are permitted in certain countries, marriage as an institution is quickly adapting to the changing rigors of our century, sir.
All right. Now, if I give you an option to choose a particular country or a region if it comes to India's foreign policy, so you can choose either a country like Pakistan, China, or a region like Middle East or immediate neighborhood, or the bigger parts like Russia, USA, China. So give me one.
So, sorry, I did not understand your question.
You have to
What is the
choose I
parameter?
you have to choose either a country or a region.
Yes,
But I
sir.
will ask you a question about
Yes.
India's foreign policy. It can be either neighborhood, a country, or the region. It can be Middle East, anything that you want.
Let's choose neighbors, sir. They are most consequential. Yes.
All right. So tell me three irritants in India-Bhutan relations.
All right, sir. Please give me a moment to think
Sure.
about it. Sure, sir. So, three irritants that have emerged in the India Bhutan relationship, which by large has been very cordial and mutually supportive to both the countries, would be so number one, the China factor. Of course, it is a mutual neighbor to both India and China, both big countries with big ambitions. And there are a lot of territorial disputes, like the Doklam Tri-Junction that I would want to mention here, sir, or the Chunbi Valley, which is also very critical for India's internal security as it falls in the very, very critical chickens corridor, as we like to call it. So number two would be the projects that India has taken up in Bhutan and the timely completion of it. That has been an irritant as well. So number three would be the drug trafficking issue, which is related to the internal security, which sometimes passes through the Bhutan corridor. Yes, sir.
All right, very nice. All right, Ayushi, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
All right, now coming to your positives. Your smile is your
Yes.
strength. Keep it intact.
Thank you, sir.
At
Yes.
at one point of time, this smile turned into a laughter, which should be avoided. Otherwise, your
Okay, sir.
pleasant smile is a very strong strength for you. Number two,
Yes,
the
sir.
way the decency with which you interact, the
Yes,
decency
sir.
on your face, the decency in your words, it is excellent. Maintain it. It is natural to you. If somebody is asking you to change in any what perspective, he or she is just fooling you. Your natural
Okay,
talent,
sir.
your natural strength is your smile and your decency. Maintain it. Make sure that your neck is not turned all the time. Sit
Yes,
little
sir.
straight, right? And
Okay.
you have to sit like your lower back touching the back of the chair, shoulders in front, right?
Yes, sir.
Like this, exactly. All
Yes,
right.
sir.
Now, coming to all the answers that you have given, I don't see any reason to find any faults with any of the answers. They are very
Okay.
well articulated, very well balanced, and each answer makes sure that you score some good marks. Is it your first interview?
Yes, sir.
I am giving you 200, all right? And
Okay,
make
sir.
sure that you are not being doctored or tailored by anyone. Go as you are.
Okay, sir.
And for next 5 days, you have my number. Do you have my number, personal number?
No, sir.
All right. It's 98147
Yes, sir.
11661.
Okay, sir.
For next 5 days, what you have to do is whatever question comes to your mind and you are not able to find an answer, if at all, you I'm giving you the slot of 10:30 a.m. You have to just give me a video call on this WhatsApp number. Ask you a question, I will give you the answer, and in return, I will ask you one corresponding question.
Okay,
That is
sir.
all that we need to do. Nothing more. If at all you have any
Okay, sir.
question that bothers your mind and you are not able to find an answer, for example, if you have any question right now, you can ask me.
All right, sir. So, majorly, I think the issue that I'm facing right now with my preparation would be some areas of my DAF and analyzing what depth should I prepare them for.
Did you
So,
get
see, for example,
that DAF detailed question from my side?
yes, sir, Seema ma'am had
All
sent
right.
a
Okay.
questionnaire.
Were you there
Yes,
with
sir.
us in the mains wala program as well, where we were sharing content for mains?
No, sir, I just came across your institution few days back.
Okay. All right. Please tell me what specific question you have from DAF that bothers you.
Yes, sir. So, say for example, in the achievement section, I've written that I went for a semester exchange to South Korea.
All right.
Now, everything that comes under South Korea and the institution that I went to, and the comparison with IIT and that institution,
So see, neither I am
of
from IIT
course,
nor I have been to South Korea, right? Now, as a
yes,
panelist,
sir.
you asked me a question. Okay, one very important thing which I missed otherwise telling you. At one
Yes,
place you said, as you know, I come from this place. Never say like this, as you know,
yes, sir.
right?
Yes, sir.
There is no need to emphasize on these kind of words. These are very authoritative words. As you know, I do this. As you know, I
Of
come from
course.
this place. So don't do this. Okay, ask me any question as a panelist. Let me be Ayushi for a second.
Yes, I think I mis said it because I wanted to say, sir, as you know, my name is
No,
Ayushi.
even in that case, there
Yes,
is no need.
then I should not say it.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Thank you.
So coming to a question.
Yes, sir. So, say for example, what are some of the similarities in India and South Korean culture that you observed during your semester exchange?
All right. While I was in South Korea, my primary focus was on my education and the exchange program for which I went there. And unfortunately, I got very little time to interact with many people, though I always wanted to. But to the extent to which I could interact with my fellow students, I found some of the similarities. Similarities like uh, if I talk about economic, then there is the same capitalist system that operates. But on the contrary, the people are not that work alcoholic as we find these days in our country, where there are now the arguments going on of 70 hours to 90 hours of a working week. So I haven't seen that kind of a culture in South Korea. If I talk about religion, yes, they do believe in God, but there is monotheism instead of polytheism as we witness in our country. And otherwise, I don't think I have seen much beyond these two things that I could observe in my little span of interaction with the people there. So I haven't been to South Korea. I am not from IIT. I haven't interacted with anyone, but I could still handle a question on basic knowledge. Now, if the same question comes to you, what would be your answer?
So, okay, sir. So when I went for the semester exchange, even to my surprise, I found that we are more alike than what we would like to believe otherwise. So to give some examples, number one would be respect for elders that exists very peculiarly in both our culture as well as South Korean culture. For example, there the Anjumas, as they like to call their grand aunts, they would prepare pickles like they do in India for their granddaughters or grandsons. Number two would be so their way of praying. So Korean culture, it is also a Buddhist culture. So they also pray with folded hands and they also light lamps and diyas and candles as well. So number three, which I can think of right now, would be their love for food, music, and movies, which is very similar to India as well. Uh, like right now, the K-pop wave has also traveled to different parts of the world, like how Bollywood has captured audiences everywhere. So these would
So
be some
a
of the
question,
similarities I
a
found.
question in continuity to this from perhaps some other panelist, right? Now that you have given your answer, there can be a
Yes,
question like this. All right, I have seen that over the past few years, there is a craze for K dramas or series in India as well among the young population. So have you been
yes, sir.
one of them?
Yes, sir. I
All
have to
right.
admit.
So which is the recent K drama that you have watched?
So there was a movie, Parasite, which
Okay.
won the Oscars. This is something that I revisited quite recently.
All right. So in that case, can you tell me any similarities between the drama production or the series production and the movie production that we see in India and Korea?
Yes, sir. So Bollywood, as we predominantly know it, I'll give it as an example to showcase the similarities. There are a lot of romantic scenes and there are a lot of background music that goes on in those scenes. They are over exaggerated. And that is similar in South Korean dramas as well. The love part of it, the romance part of it is very well shot and exaggerated. So, number two would be the belief in destiny. A lot of Bollywood movies also give a flashback to, let's say, an earlier life, like in Karan Arjun, say for example, or to childhood. Destiny is something that South Koreans very strongly believe in, and it is reflected in a lot of their movies and dramas as well.
Great. Ayushi, just go as you are. You are going to get a
Yes,
very good rank. All right. Best of
thank you
luck.
so much for your belief, sir. Thank you so
Great.
much.
Take care. God bless
Yes.
you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye, sir.